I think this is the ultimate hair metal party anthem.
It's the band that helped end the Cold War, Gorky Park, with their song Bang.
I don't think, hey, don't play Cold Blood. Fuck, I'm getting tired of that. Fuck, I'm like, play Cold Blood. Go ahead. It's not a problem.
One of the biggest songs of all time, probably.
Fuck. Why that should have been one of the biggest songs ever.
Not even just the 80s, ever.
Another one from 1984. 1984 was a good fucking year.
I Want the Guy's Jacket off the cover, going to 1989.
Shout, shout, shout at the devil! And people are looking around. I'm like, oh, excuse me, I'll change the channel here.
Who Says You Can't Go Home by Bon Jovi. Gypsy's...
That thing is catchy as fuck.
Oh, horns. Well, you know what I think about horns and metal? The two don't fucking mix.
Yeah. Lick it off your penis, make you cry. I'm like, what the fuck is he getting this from?
I'm like, fuck, just buy the CD, support the band. Don't be a little bitch.
I love both that and Love Bites.
Don't fly with everybody else who's partying and doing...
Yeah, don't fly Coke Airlines.
And we got some fucking balloons.
Party now.
Finally. Well, Brian's always talking about banging something at one point or another.
Whatever I can get.
How you like that, fuckers? Don't talk about me when I'm gone.
Yeah, right. What an asshole that guy is.
I bet you $20 that ends up in the montage.
The hair metal guru, from Warren to crew. The hair metal guru, never forget Charlie too.
Welcome to the Hair Metal Guru. My name is Anthony. They call me the Guru. And today we have, jeez, I keep on wanting to say we have our another threesome, but Mariah's probably like, oh yeah, let's title it something else. I got Bryan and Mariah here to talk about something that is begging to be talked about. The catchiest songs in hair metal history. And there are so many. Fuck, it was hard to make this list. With that, Bryan from the Hairband Basement, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me on again. I mean, you need the viewers, so you keep bringing me back, I guess.
Hey, we're bringing sexy back, I guess.
All right. Let's try harder, but all right. Let me go through my stuff here. Find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, HB Basement. Always talking music there. And you can hear my show on the Station Hat app. Download that, and you can hear the deepest of tracks, the rarest
of bands, the little known songs from the biggest name artists from before, during, and after the decade of decadence.
Nice.
If you don't want to hear Pour Some Sugar on Me or Here I Go Again, download. Jeez, I got it. Finally.
Nice. So download the app. I'm on every Friday. If you don't hear me on Friday, I got the shows recorded, so go and see the older ones. I've actually thought of shortening that. And I was like, because on X, when I start my show, I put up there, the rarest of bands, blah, blah, blah. And I say from the greatest genre of music. I don't feel like typing the whole fucking thing out. And then I'm like, if I do that, everyone's going to think I fucking wimped out and can't remember it or so. So now I'm stuck with that goddamn whole thing.
It's iconic. I like it. I think
all right. Okay.
Keep it.
It's your cross to bear. It's your cross to bear.
True.
And so follow him on X, and then on Friday night when he does his show, he shares all the songs that he's playing in his X posts. It's really cool. So go check that shit out.
Mariah, let me say real quick, because I get people that listen always bring up this show. I want to thank the people that listen every Friday. Appreciate you guys. Thanks a lot. Just want to put that out there.
Absolutely, very cool. Mariah, who is in California and is back for shit. She's just a regular now. And we got some fucking balloons.
Party now.
Finally. Can party. All right. Hey, cool. So Mariah, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'm also on X at MTMeScene24. And it's always fun being on the show. I'm excited for the video.
Yep. Follow me on X at Hair Metal Guru. Got a couple Facebook pages at Hair Metal Guru, Classic Rock Fargo. Hey, and do come on X, because there's a big group of us that are talking hair metal all the time. The greatest musical generation ever. So come join the conversation. Hey, while we're here, would love it if you like, subscribe. What the hell? Ring the bell if you want notifications. And thank you, man. I've gained just a ton of subscribers. I think the Razor Fist video kind of helped that out quite a bit. But to all the new people, welcome. And hopefully you dig the stuff that we're talking about. Today, we're talking about the catchiest And I was asking these guys, is catchiest a fucking word, or do I got to say most catchy? I'm like, whatever. Fuck. I do have an English degree, but let's not get all down to the nuts and bolts of the English language. So the catchiest songs in hair metal history. Tough to get this list cut down to 10. I got probably 15 honorable mentions. So we're each going to do 10. And I think we're going to do this kind of rotation. We're going to go Bryan, Mariah, myself. And with that, Bryan. Oh, and let me just kind of, when I laid out like kind of my own ground rules, I wanted something that had a fucking introduction that was immediate, had a chorus that wouldn't leave your brain, and just overall that song, whether you, even if you didn't think it was the greatest song in the world, was an earworm that you couldn't get out of your head. So that's what I was looking for when I was putting my list together.
I also did only one per artist because there were a couple that I was like, I could have done multiple, but
yeah, I had a criteria too. It had to be catchy, like just what you said, basically.
Good job.
yeah, I'd be catchy, one per artist. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. With that, let's get into it. Bryan, what is your number 10 catchiest song of all time?
All right, my number 10. This one was a late one. I thought about it. Me and my friends used to play this one in the car, kind of almost mocking it. But the reason why we kept playing it and singing it because it was catchy. It's the band that helped end the Cold War, Gorky Park, with their song "Bang." That thing gets stuck in your goddamn head. Bang, say dot, da, da, da. It keeps going over and over and over. And yeah, it's just all catchy as hell. I think that was the only really big, quote unquote, hit they had. But they were also like one of the bands that were in that music festival for peace or some shit over in Moscow. I think it was
The
like
Moscow Music
Skid Row, Cinderella, Bon Jovi, all of them. Yeah, and they were the only Russian one there. But they flew them all over in one plane. I never got that. That thing went down.
Can you imagine that party though?
I know.
And it was supposed to be, it was the Moscow Music Peace Festival, and it was supposed to be an anti-drug thing because Doc McGee, the manager of Bon Jovi, and I think who else was it? He managed somebody else on that thing.
I think Motley Crue as well,
and the McGees were involved with Skid Row as well, but he had got busted shipping like a bunch of weed, like tons of weed into America. So they said, hey, look, part of your penance is get this concert together and we'll kind of lighten your sentence. It'll be the Make a Difference Foundation or whatever against drinking and drugs. So you get the biggest drunks and cokeheads on one plane, and they're all fucked up the whole entire trip. They called it the Make a Different Drink Foundation. So anyway, I do remember.
Yeah, I think I heard Motley Crue was the only sober ones on
That's
there,
right.
which is such a weird thing to me. I don't know how that happened.
They just got out of rehab.
They just got out of rehab.
Yeah, well, that's a way you relapse.
What a stupid thing to do. Take a separate plane, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
You got money. You got your fine. You're doing great.
Don't fly with everybody else who's partying and doing.
Yeah, don't fly Coke Airlines.
Yeah.
No,
But I want to say about Gorky Park, they did have, I don't even know if it got any radio play. There was a ballad on there called Try to Find Me that I remember people playing, and I was like, oh, and it was pretty decent. But after that album and after that concert, you didn't hear shit about that. I never heard shit about that band ever again.
I have no idea what they did, where they are now. I have no clue. Maybe they're fighting in Ukraine right now. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
At like 42.
But you're right. That was a catchy ass song. And I've thought about that for a while. That's a good call.
Because I was looking for other songs, and I holy shit, yeah, that's right. That thing. And as I'm looking for, I'm humming myself. Right. That's catchy. It's getting the list.
I didn't even fuck. Was any of it English? It was like bang.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Your rocket is ready, and it started counting down. Bang. Say da da da. I think that might be the only real Russian part.
That's right. Okay. Good. Mariah, what's your number 10?
So I couldn't decide between two songs.
Okay, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
I know. I looked at this for way too long, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know.
Right now, flip a coin. There's your decision. Make it official.
You can have a 10A, 10B.
All right. Well,
it's been in the rules and it's getting old.
Yeah, the two of them are Photographed by Def Leppard. That one gets stuck in my head all the time. That's a really catchy song. And then the other one, which is honestly, if I had to pick one, I'm thinking this is what I go with, because I think it's just a little more catchy, is Unskinny Bop by Poison.
Mm.
You start singing that one and it just doesn't stop. Like you do a little bit of it and it keeps going.
Yeah.
It's really, really catchy.
That guitar riff is insanely catchy, and even though those lyrics are cheesy as fuck, they will not leave your head ever. So I hear you.
It's absolutely one of those things where it's not catchy because it's great. It's catchy just because it sticks in, it sticks in your head.
Sure.
Not to do with the greatness of the lyrics.
Totally.
Yeah, those lyrics though.
Yeah.
No, I didn't really care for it. And then I saw it live and I liked it better, but I feel like
What's
that's
got you so jumping? Yeah, it's kind of anyway.
What's the line? Like gasoline, you want to pump me?
Like gasoline, you want to pump me.
Oh God! What?
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those where you don't think too deeply about the lyrics. You just sing along and it gets stuck in your head. I kind of think of that stupid song, and I hate it, even though it's catchy as hell. "Pumped Up Kicks" by Foster the People.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That
the same
is a
thing.
catchy.
Lyrics are horrible.
Yeah.
So, and most people don't know what it's about. It just gets stuck in your head, and people don't even kind of realize after that.
All right, my number 10, and surprise, surprise, we're staying with Poison. And I am going with 1988's debut or opening single off the Open Up and Say Ah album. It's Nothing But a Good Time. I've said before, I think this is the ultimate hair metal party anthem.
Yeah.
That opening guitar riff is right away. Boom. In 3 or 4 seconds, you're like, holy shit. And I love that simple, catchy shit. The lyrics are like a call to arms for people who are just tired of taking it from the man and doing your 9 to 5. And if you remember the video, like that
the guy washing dishes.
Washing dishes.
Get your button gear or you're out of here.
He cranks up the radio.
Wash dishes. Now listen to that rock and roll. Oh, okay, old man. Calm down.
But then when he kicks that door open and you see the band and it's got that lime green Poison and there's shit sparks flying and explosions. Bret Michaels once said that's still his favorite song to play live.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I've listened to so much Poison over the years, I can still, when that thing comes on, you go, holy shit, that is just an epic piece of hair metal history. Utterly catchy. It's my number 10.
I agree.
Right.
Totally
That's
agree.
great. Hell, I could have made it. I could have made this list mostly Poison. I almost had Talk Dirty to Me or Ride the Wind. I mean, there's so many. I Won't Forget You. They're just making catchy hits.
I'll say this. Hey, for a guy who loves pussy ballads, ain't that right, Brian?
Oh yeah.
No ballads on this. I was like,
I don't know if I do either.
I don't have any ballads.
Usually the catchiest songs. They're not. It's the rocker kind of songs.
Yeah, not the pussiest songs.
Okay, moving on. Brian, what's your number 9?
My number 9. We've talked about this one in this band before. Did a show on them. Gypsy Road by Cinderella from their Long Cold Winter album. That guitar kicks in. Great stuff. And the chorus is all catchy as hell. Who's not singing along to that? I mean, great tune. And it's just, it's probably, I would say Cinderella's catchiest song.
Yeah, I would say so too. I asked my dad about what songs he thought were contenders, and he's going to be disappointed that one's not on my list, because that was one of the first ones he said, Gypsy Road.
I got you, Dad. I got you.
It's killing me because I have 2 Cinderella songs in my honorable mentions, and when we've talked about Cinderella, I've said Gypsy Road is still one of my favorite hair metal songs of all time.
Great
tune. I also have 2 in my honorable mentions,
Not in my fucking list. I'm like, and hearing you talk about it, I'm like, ah, shit.
Okay. I know. You're saying it. I'm like, shit, I should have put it in there anyway.
I mean, right now we're just talking about it. I already got the intro guitar in my head.
Fuck yes.
Right there.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. One of the greatest hair metal riffs of all time, I think. All right, Mariah, what's your number 9?
All right, my number 9, this one gets very often stuck in my head, is Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue.
Okay.
Especially the part I feel like when we started this band, all we needed was a laugh. And then he rhymes kicking ass with kicking ass again.
Yes.
That's a terrible thing. You don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's
know.
not as bad as when
Catchy,
Bon
though.
Jovi has I walk these streets, a loaded 6-gun on my back. I play for keeps, so I might not make it back. It's like, John, what are you doing? Come on. That's poetry 101. You know,
I feel like there's another one too that Bon Jovi had, and I don't remember what it was. It's better. It's Bed of Roses. There's that line that's so stupid. French kiss the morning or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Wake up and French kiss
I
the
wake up
morning.
and French kiss the morning. Yeah, and I'm like,
oh God.
what?
But I remember an interview with Nikki Sixx, and he was talking about how Kickstart My Heart came about, and the band was like, okay, what do you got for ideas? And Nikki was like, well, I got something, but it's really kind of punky. So it's probably not a good Motley Crue song. And Tommy Lee saying, fuck, I like punk. And that opening guitar riff that's kind of I think that's pretty original for 1989 hair metal. I mean, that's a speedy fucking riff. That open in Kickstart My Heart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
I'm with you. That
riff
was one of my
that riff
favorite
is catchy
songs.
as hell.
That was one of my favorite Crue songs back in the day. So
Yeah,
It's still a great song.
oh yeah,
it's a good song. Yeah.
totally.
I understand. It's one of those where I understand why it was one of their biggest songs. Or maybe it is their biggest. I think it might be their biggest. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, well, there is the Almighty Without You that did go to #1. I fucking hate that song.
There is Brandon.
Yeah, and Brandon. All right. We made love with the baby inside.
Oh God.
No,
Oh.
no.
Tommy. Okay, my number 9. Shit, and here's a band that I don't feel like we've ever. Maybe they came up in one of those best albums of 1990, but the band is Tiger Tails, and the song is Love Bomb Baby.
Yes.
Holy shit!
Shit, I forgot about them.
Even
Yeah,
that opening,
I forgot about that one.
the opening line. You're not a lady, you're a love bomb, baby.
That's right. Yeah.
And I fucking love that line. I think that's so cool. But that whole thing is so catchy. You'll never get it out of your head, especially that chorus when he repeats that line. Tiger Tails. I mean, shit. I don't think that album did much in America. I know it's one of Ryan's favorite albums of all time.
I thought like Berserk. I thought Berserk was as big, or was it Bonsai?
But Berserk is the one with Love Bomb Baby.
Yeah, I thought it was
Bonsai.
one of those. It was one of those.
And then there was like an 87 album called Young and Crazy that I have that I actually kind of like.
But
But
pretty good band.
Translate over here.
It didn't. Welsh metal didn't just make. But they, when you said that, they have another song. Oh shit, "Living Without You." That's catchy as all hell too.
absolutely.
It's a very catchy song.
Yep. And that song is on that same album. You know, you're kind of like, fuck, how did that album not do better? But
No.
you know, it could have been record label shit, you know, being from
A
wherever they're
billion
from.
things. Unfortunately.
They were Welsh, I believe.
Yeah. So but yeah, that song will not leave my head. So all right. And thank you
Good one.
on X. Speaking of join the conversation on X, I actually did not have that on my list. I X'd out. I'm like, hey, we're doing this episode. I got my list done, but I'd be interested in hearing what you got. Somebody said that, and I was like, holy fuck, that has to be in my list. So
Yeah, so that's where I saw them. I saw somebody talking about them today on X.
I didn't see that. When did you put that up?
4 or 5 hours ago.
Oh, I didn't see it. All right.
Yep. All right. Moving on to our number 8s. Brian, what do you got?
My number 8, how this band and especially this song wasn't huge, "Sleeping My Day Away" by DAD.
Oh.
That song is so goddamn catchy. It should have been, I don't know, in a movie or something. You could see it like in the trailer of a movie, just have it in the background with some goofy comedy or something. But
Hey, what about remember the Lost Boys?
yes,
They-
I'm thinking more like an 80s comedy or something.
Yeah. Well,
But
the Lost Boys was kind of comedy, but
Good
anyway.
movie.
No, it was the vampire movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It had its
Yeah,
moments.
but sleeping my day away, that's what vampires do.
You cornball.
I wasn't even trying to be corny.
Oh.
Jeez.
It had a good
Go
cast.
on.
The actors
I
are
get
good.
where you're going with it, but anyway.
It was perfect.
But yeah, like that opening riff at the beginning, and the chorus is all catchy as hell too. Yeah, it should have been a bigger song. I don't understand how it wasn't.
Oh, you are damn right. I've tried to pump that album.
Solid album.
No
Oh, God,
Fuel
it's
Left
so
for
good.
the Pilgrims is one of my favorite hair metal albums of all time. And that song is the fucking creme de la creme on that album. So, all right. Okay, Mariah, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. That song's got a real catchy chorus, and that's when I find myself singing a lot, or it's in my head. And I honestly forget how long that song is. Like they
It
repeat
is.
that chorus a lot. It's like 6 minutes and 40 some seconds.
Yep. Yep.
It's a long song, but I don't even notice because it's catchy and I'm singing along the whole time, and it comes off and I'm still singing it. And there's several times where I'm like, I gotta listen to a new song. I need to get this out. I've been singing the same couple lines, and I know the in between stuff, but still.
Mhm.
And it's almost like two songs in one. And
Mhm.
I think so original because that opening acoustic guitar, Take Me Down, is unbelievably catchy. And then later on, you're getting a fucking Metallica thrash song.
Well, they just play the same thing faster.
I know, but I mean, but it
And
just sounds utterly different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is. It is. The
Rocket
song
Queen's
has
the same
peaks and
way.
valleys. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Rocket Queen's the same way. When they kick into the kind of the
Great.
last part of it, and they're talking about if you need a friend and all that, that sounds like a different song
Yeah. Oh,
than
yeah.
it did
Yep.
before. But it's great. It works really well, and they make it seem almost seamless. It's
Yeah,
great.
that's easily my favorite Guns N' Roses song. But yeah, a song like that, Midnight Tornado by Skid Row, almost two different songs.
Yep.
Rocket
Yep.
Pit Bridge by Tough, the ending is a completely different song. Like,
Yeah.
just throw it out there. What was another one? Oh, was it
There-
Big Black Bush by Life, Sex, and Death? But the ending is completely different. It's such a great title. Like, what is-
What was that? Big Black Bush by
Big
like
Black Bush? Wait, no, that's not, I'm thinking of something else.
there's another Guns N' Roses one that does that too. It might be Double Talk and Jive or whatever.
Yes, they have
Come
that
out with
Spanish,
every
like,
different intro.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it almost feels like a different song.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get any Life, Sex, and Death on my list, but damn it, I think at some point they deserve their own video so we can talk about
Fantastic album. It is unbelievably
Shit.
good.
Life, Sex, and Death, The Silent Majority. What a great album.
I wish we got more from them.
Yes, fuck. All right. My number 8, and this is probably no surprise because I think when we talked about our favorite hair metal albums of all time, one of the best selling albums, not just hair metal, but period, and it's Def Leppard and it's Photograph. Came out in 1983. The album went to number 2, sold 10 million copies. I don't know where I'm sure Photograph got pretty high, but from that opening little ding, and then that riff that comes in, I think is one of the catchiest riffs ever. And just that whole thing, that whole album is all killer, no filler.
Mhm.
But I think that's probably I was torn between that and Rock of Ages. I think
I almost had Rock Ages on my list.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why Photograph made it. So I totally agree.
Yep. So yeah, I think one of the best songs in hair metal. And shit, when I coach in the morning, I still play like 80s rock when kids are warming up, and that song comes on frequently, and I'm still like, fucking A, that's a great damn song. So, all right.
I'm gonna say this. I think that's the weakest song on the album.
Oh, not me.
That's how good that album.
Oh,
That's
that's
more of a. That's
right.
why I say how good the
Big.
album is.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I don't agree, but yeah. I mean, that from top to bottom, there's
it's a
not
great
song on
album.
there that I skip.
I'm not
The
going
last-
to argue with anyone's favorite.
Yeah, the last no skip trip. Sorry, Ryan.
All right. We're done with the number 8s. Number 7, Brian, what you got?
Oh shit. My number 7, "Tell Me" by White Lion from Pride.
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing is catchy as fuck.
Oh,
Starts off with the whoa, and then you're just in after that. The chorus is a sing-along chorus. I mean, it's just one of those songs Everything is just, it gets stuck in your head. That's one that I was saying before, how I played 2 songs on the car ride home from work. That was one of them I had to play because it got stuck in my head, and I'm like, yeah, I'm putting this on. I have to hear the whole thing now.
Right
Yep.
before we were doing this episode, I'm staring at my fucking honorable mentions and I'm looking at White Lion Tell Me and going, there must be a spot for you. And because the whoa woes, fucking whoa woes and hand claps
Mm-hmm.
and gang vocals, that shit goes a long way towards making a hair metal song catchy.
Wait, there's
That
air claps
song-
in that? Hand claps?
No. That song doesn't. I'm just saying, like, those are things that
Okay,
I think,
yeah.
you know, make shit just sound a little bit poppier than the normal. And that song, fuck, you are exactly right. One of the catchier songs.
I thought you have that on your list.
I know. As soon as you said it, I dropped my head. I'm like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, I have a different White Lion song higher up on mine, but man,
Okay.
that one's right up in there for sure.
Okay. All right. Mariah, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is Big Guns by Skid Row.
Ooh.
That song
Ooh.
gets stuck in my head every
Really?
time I listen to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I almost
Yeah,
I thought I had on
Big
my honor.
guns pointed at my heart. Bang, bang, like a firing squad.
It's a great tune. I don't get me wrong. It's a good tune. I had Can't Stand the Heartache by them on my honorables.
Yeah. I think I
pretty
probably
catchy.
had Rattlesnake Shake also on my honorables because that one's also.
Yeah.
But no, Big Guns.
when
Every
that-
time I listen to it, it's guaranteed in my head for the whole day.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
When that album was out and we were playing it, you know, everybody knew Youth Gone Wild, 18 in Life, I Remember You, and a lot of people knew Piece of Me because it was a single and got a video. But Big Guns was like the song I was like, fuck. If you want to listen to something awesome by Skid Row that isn't on the radio or wasn't a video, go listen to Big Guns. I thought that was one of my favorites from back in the day.
Sweet
But
Little Sister's a huge favorite of mine too. On
Yeah.
there.
I remember getting that and I got on CD, putting that on, and that
Your
first
old buck?
Dan, man, and I was like, that was such a great way to start that album. Such a
Yes.
in your face, it hits you, and you're like, okay, I think we're in for a ride on this one now. Yeah,
Yep.
that whole album is great, but yeah, that was a great way to start the album.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll take this out, maybe I won't. But tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Central Time, and I think Mariah might join that one as well. But Ryan and I are doing a battle. We're putting Wild Side Under the Influence against the debut Skid Row album. And I think we're just going to rank the songs and try to figure out which album is better anyway. Yeah. So speaking of,
Real quick, an embarrassing story about Big Guns is I listened to that back when I had an office job. I was a legal intern for a company, and that song was playing, and then it ended, and I went in for a meeting I had to do, and I was meeting, with just one other person, but she was looking for something, and I am singing that, and then I realized I'm singing that out loud. She's looking at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, sorry, my bad. I thought that was in my head.
that kind of reminds me when I was back in my drinking days and I was bartending and I had to bartend on a Sunday morning. So, you get there before the restaurant opens and you're getting all set up. So I have like whatever it wasn't Hair Nation back then, but we had satellite radio and, you could play like all 80s rock. Well, the restaurant opens and I forget to change the channel. There's a couple old couples sitting in the restaurant at 11 in the morning, and all of a sudden, shout at the devil. And people are looking around. I'm like, oh, excuse me, I'll change the channel here. Put on
Black Bush.
your Big Black Bush from Life, Sex, and Death.
There you go.
How you like that, fuckers? Okay. Shit, was that Mariah's? Was Big?
That
Big
was my
Guns?
7.
My number 7, and this is another one that I kind of got from X because I kind of forgot about it. It's Bang Bang by Danger Danger. That's, right away, bang bang, and then you get that guitar riff, unbelievably catchy. My son loves that song, and shit, this is a kid who likes Kanye West, so. But man, when we're together, we'll play Bang Bang in the car and he's fucking singing along. That's will not leave your head. And that album, we've talked about it a few times, deserves so much better, but that's an unbelievably catchy song.
Spoiler alert, I'll bring that up later.
Okay. Okay.
All of
That
us
was-
have
I
had a song with bang in it for some, with something.
Well, Brian's always talking about banging something at one point or another.
Whatever I can get.
Right.
I remember they were on I think I talked about this show, radio show, when I was living on Long Island. It was the Fingers Metal Shop was the name of the show. And he had Danger Danger on. And he was like, what's with the double words? You guys are Danger Danger. You had Naughty Naughty. The next single is Bang Bang. They were so pissed at him for breaking this up. Like, well, that's what you did. What do you expect?
They had to know people were going to notice. Not like you wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
Because I was always like, what the fuck is up with the double everything?
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly subtle, guys. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Okay. That was my number 7. We're on to the number 6s. Brian, lead us off.
My number 6, we talked about these guys in a separate show. It was my number 1 song. We listed 10 songs by them. Cold Blood by Kix.
Yeah.
Catchy as all hell. I mean, that guitar riff kicks in, and the chorus itself. A lot of the choruses are just catchy. They stick in your head.
Yeah.
Now, Cold Blood is all you bleed. Ugh, it's a great song. Great. Again, stuck in your head all the time.
That line, good love is all you need, cold blood is all you bleed.
Yeah. But you don't want to know. Cold blood is all. I actually posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. I used to post pictures of cassettes. I don't feel like digging through the box anymore, so I've been posting CDs. And I posted Blow My Fuse up. And I kind of briefly told the story that I remember when I got that thing. Got it because of that song. And rode my bike to the record store, and down, like, I want to say like a mile down the road, it was on Main Street, like a warehouse or something blew up. And I remember me and my brother and a couple of friends, we saw like a news truck driving by. We made some comment about it. We came home. My mother's like, did you hear something when you were down at the record store? I go, no. It's like, yeah, a warehouse blew up about a mile away. I don't hear a thing.
Jesus.
I'm listening to my CD now. I have no idea.
Crazy. Huh. All right. Cold blood. I'm anyway. Okay. Mariah, what's your number 6?
Yeah, so number 6, another one my dad and I were talking about earlier today, and we were talking about catchy, and we said sometimes catchy songs are songs that are popular just because they're catchy. They punch above their weight class in terms of what they should be if you look at the lyrics or the music itself. And this is an example of it, because it's their biggest song, but if anyone is a big fan of the band, it's never anyone's favorite, and that is Cherry Pie by Warrant.
Mm-hmm.
That'll get stuck in your head. It's catchy. I was telling my dad, I'm like, yeah, somehow this is like a quarter of a billion streams on, Spotify, and Heaven has 76 million. And he's like, yeah, that one's just punching above its weight class, because Heaven's a popular song. It's just because it's catchy. And it is. I will sing it all the time. It's so catchy. Everything about it is.
My son was singing it, I don't know, a few weeks ago. I never played it for him. Maybe it was on one time. He heard it, whatever. He's singing it. So I played the song for him. All right. He's like, okay. But then like a week or two after that, he starts singing Sweet, Sweet Cherry Pie. Put it on, lick it off your penis, make you cry. I'm like, what the fuck is he getting this from? I'm like, what the hell? Those aren't the words, but okay.
Okay.
They're just good. They're just as good.
Hey, something is catchy, even if he doesn't have the words right.
I know. That's
catchy.
the thing. I only played it that one time after he was singing it the first time. I don't know where he got it from. I couldn't even tell you.
Wow, that says how catchy it is, even if you get the lyrics wrong.
Exactly. Lick it off your penis, make you cry.
I bet you $20 I bet you $20 that ends up in the montage. I'm right with you. It's in my honorable mentions. And this is off topic. That song was so huge. The song Uncle Tom's Cabin, which I feel like is probably the best rock song on that album. Only made it to like 88 on the top on the Billboard charts. I just thought I remembered that Uncle Tom's Cabin being a big, huge hit.
It should be.
I mean, it was kind of a hit, but I thought, I was like, shit, did it make it to top 20, top 10? No, it was in like fucking 76 or something like that. And and Cherry Pie was like a top 10 hit.
Yeah, Cherry Pie was huge. It was huge for them, and Janie Lane obviously didn't like it. There's all that stuff about it, but at
Yep.
least it made the band bigger, and he can sit back at least. He could sit back regretting it at least, but made money because it was huge, and most
Well,
bands would kill for a song that they wrote on a napkin in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Wild.
like there, and I get it, and I've talked about, like, yes, I understand why he felt like he got pigeonholed by that song, but there's a million fucking Hollywood bands that played the clubs for years and never did shit that would have given their fucking left nut to have a song half as big as Cherry Pie. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was in that interview where he said he regretted writing that song. But he said later, he was like, "Yeah, I really didn't mean that. I know fans like it."
he was
Blah, blah,
fucked
blah.
up. He was drunk.
Yeah, that's why I was part of
Yeah.
it. Yes.
And if you're drunk and depressed, sometimes you can, like, something that wasn't that bad becomes worse in your head. They were interviewing him about the hair metal days and the downfall,
Mhm.
and he's wasted, and you're like, fuck that song. But then you sober up later on, you're like, you know what? I was pretty lucky to have a song that people still talk about. I mean, shit, look at us. It's 2025. Here we are talking about
We'll
Cherry
talk
Pie
about
being one of the catchiest songs
Yeah.
in hair metal
Yeah,
history.
catchiest fucking
Yeah.
35-year-old song.
Yeah, and if you regret a song, it's much easier to have regrets when you have a bunch of money from that versus regrets when you don't have any money. I mean,
Yeah.
they would love that song, but so many people hated their songs.
That's true too. I'm gonna go on
You know,
record saying this. I think Mr. Rainmaker is a better song than Uncle Tom's Cabin. All
I
right, now.
love Mr. Rainmaker.
I love Mr. Rainmaker, not more than Uncle Tom's Cabin, but I love it.
Yeah. Okay, my number 6 is came out in 1984. This band, I think at that point, a lot of people were predicting big things based on the single being so huge. It's Turn Up the Radio by Autograph.
Okay, yeah, all right.
That man, that thing was everywhere in 1984. All the radio stations were using that, like, turn up as their, like, tagline. When they were talking about the station, listen to Q98 FM and
Yeah.
it was and so catchy. Now, like, they did have some decent songs. They put out a few albums after that. Never, I mean, that album went gold. It went to number 28. And, they had some minor radio hits. Steve Plunkett, the singer, ended up putting out a solo album in the late 90s. They never reached the promise of that song ever again. But damn it, that's a huge song.
Well, they were put on tour with Van Halen before they even had an album.
That's
They
right.
didn't have anything together. So
right.
it was like, yeah, let's put these guys on. David Lee Roth went jogging. I think, was it with Plunkett? I forgot who he went jogging with, what member of the band. I can't remember if it was the vocalist or the guitarist.
The guitar player.
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, why don't you come on tour with us? Like, what the fuck? Okay, I don't have a band. What do you mean?
And I think in the album, so that album was called Sign In, Please. I think the album after that, they had a video that had Vince Neil and Ozzy Osbourne made an appearance in the video, which was like kind of a big fucking deal. I don't remember what the song was called.
I was going to say, what's the song? I don't remember.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, huge song. Hey, give me a sec. Charlie's got to come in. I got to fill up my water. So
all right.
Let's part out. Don't talk about me when I'm gone.
Yeah, right. What an asshole that guy is.
So we are now on to our number 5s. Brian, what's your number 5?
My number 5 from Baton Rouge's debut, Walks Like a Woman.
Ooh.
That chorus again, the big epic background vocals with that big chorus. It's so catchy. Another one, the beginning just ropes you in and you're singing along to the chorus once it starts going. It's that band should have been bigger. That is such a good album too. Such a good album.
That's
notes on it. No, I don't. I almost had what the fuck? I had Up All Night by Slaughter in that position. I'm like, no, this is a really hooky chorus. I'm gonna put them in instead.
Yeah, Up All Night was very high in my honorable mentions. That was like 11 or 12, maybe, if I'm ranking it.
Yeah.
That song's so catchy.
Yes,
I have Walks Like a Woman in my honorable mentions. And if you don't know the song Baby So Cool off that Baton Rouge, Shake Your Soul, that chorus will not fucking leave your head. So those were a couple that were in my honorables.
Yeah, that was one of the things of the album. A lot of the choruses had the big background vocals with catchy, choruses, basically.
That album should have been big.
Yeah.
Should have been big. I just talked about that at some point recently. So, okay. Mariah, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is I Wanna Rock by Twisted Sister.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
That'll get stuck in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And they kick it off from the very beginning, too. The song literally starts with, I wanna rock. And
they got to make his point.
Yeah, and then it kicks in, and it's catchy. It's not something I try and listen to a lot anymore just because I've heard it so much. I've heard bad remakes of it. I've heard everything to do with that song, and it will get stuck in my head, and I don't want that. But it's catchy, which is why it's on the list.
Do you remember that movie? I think it was probably in the late 90s, maybe in the early 2000s, called Road Trip. Stifler was in it. This guy.
Weren't they in Europe for that?
No. This guy sleeps with his girlfriend or cheats on his girlfriend and thinks he recorded it and thinks the videotape got sent to his girlfriend's college in Texas.
Videotape.
So he and like 4 buddies steal a bus and drive down to Texas. And anyway, so it's the story of this trip. But at some point, and this is like in the 2000s, they're fucking singing along to Twisted Sister's I Wanna Rock and it's one of the great movie scenes. And that movie is fantastic. I shit you not, Road Trip. So
yeah, I think there was something, I didn't know this existed until a couple years ago. There was like Goofy Goober Rock or something on SpongeBob that was like
It was in the movie.
Yeah.
They changed the lyrics for it, and SpongeBob. I know this because I have a kid who watches all this shit. But
he watches it. He just pretends that it's his.
It's not a bad movie. I'm gonna sit there. I'll die on this hill. It's a pretty fucking funny movie.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. There's some fucking good lines in it.
Yeah.
But at the end he has a guitar and gets all glammed out and he starts singing, the song with different lyrics or whatever the fuck. So my son heard that and I'm like, that's from a song. He's like, what do you mean? So I'm playing the video for him. So then I'm revisiting the song I've heard a billion times already.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing until I was helping out at a kids camp. And I think either I was playing the song and someone was singing that, and I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like I Wanna Rock by Twisted Sister.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the same thing. And they're like, it's SpongeBob. And I'm like, originally Twisted Sister.
Yeah. Here they are. Picture it.
Yeah, exactly. Here you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that reminds me, that same church camp I had, there was very strict rules about what you could wear or whatever, and I had jeans and a Def Leppard shirt on. And one of the girls goes up to me. She was probably, I don't know, 13 maybe. And she's like, oh, I love your shirt. It's so cool. And I'm like, thanks. And she's like, does it say Def Leppard? Because that's definitely a leopard on your shirt. And I start laughing and I'm like, oh, no, that's a band. No, that's not. No. And it was funny because then my brother, who is friends with her, my youngest brother, goes up and he's like, yeah, it's a band. They sing Pour Some Sugar on Me. You're an idiot, Emily.
Way to be blunt to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was funny though.
That's hilarious.
Like, oh, jeez.
When I was teaching, I would have kids walk in with band shirts on, and I'd be like, oh, hey, you like that band? And they're like, no, my parents just have this shirt, or my parents got me this shirt. I'm like, okay, well, thanks for spreading the word anyway.
Yeah.
I feel like I see less of that. I see shirts here, and they're not the ones you see everywhere. So I'm like, oh, they're probably a fan. Like I saw a guy with a System of a Down shirt the other day. I'm like, yeah, you don't see that one very often. He's probably a fan.
But not for nothing. Like rock and metal bands have way better shirts than like hip hop and pop.
Yes.
Yeah, I rarely see anything but Taylor Swift other than rock and metal shirts around.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other ones just don't really. You don't see that.
All right. I saw your post on X on Twitter earlier today when you were saying that you wear the shirt of the band if you go to their show. And I'm like, no, you don't do that. And then someone else said that, and you're like, I don't understand why. I'm just like, it's an unwritten rule.
I don't know. Some people do, some people don't. To me, it feels
know.
like the don't wear white after Labor Day rule. It's just.
I'll say this:
Don't do it.
with the one band I know that two bands that I've seen where that rule doesn't apply, because I agree, you don't wear the shirt of the band that you're going to see, except Kiss and AC/DC, because you go to a Kiss or an AC/DC show and it's like everybody's wearing their shit. So
well, then again, people go to a Kiss show with the makeup on and shit.
Yeah,
so
totally.
like,
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, I feel like any show I go to, there's about half that are, half that aren't. I'll walk around.
And it's kind of a stupid rule. That'd be like, hey, you're going to the Steelers game. Don't wear a Steelers shirt. You don't wear a Steelers shirt to the game.
It's different. It's totally different.
It seems the same to me. I'm supporting them, and they can look
You're
out
paying
and
for
see
the
people have their
ticket.
shirts on.
But you're paying for the ticket and buying the merch. That supports them. That's what I think. I said.
But you always wear a band shirt to a concert, right? Like I never go to a concert not wearing a band shirt. But I just always wear a band shirt of a different band than the one I'm going to see. I'm just saying, like, when I think about it, it sounds kind of stupid that you shouldn't wear a
It
shirt
is what it is.
band.
It is what it is. It's an unwritten rule.
I think it's ridiculous. If I've got one, I'll wear it. If not, I'll wear something else, and I'll buy it, and I'll bring it home, and I'll wear, the other one another time.
It's an unwritten rule. Like, you don't wear the opponent's jersey to a game. You don't fucking do that.
Yeah, but the
You're
band
gonna get beer thrown at you. Expect the worst. Don't do that.
Yeah, but that's like wearing a Pittsburgh Pirates jersey to a Steelers game. No one does that. You're like, wrong sport, buddy. Get out of here.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Me, I wear a full tux to the show. Just to class it up.
I did see somebody who said that they wore a tux, and I also saw somebody who said whatever they go to, they will wear the polar opposite. So they go to a classic rock show, they'll wear a hip hop shirt. They go to a death metal one, they'll wear a Rick Springfield shirt. So like they'll just do the opposites. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
When I go to
different opinions.
When I go to concerts, fucking balloons.
Ooh.
I wear a cummerbund, a top hat, and assless chaps. And easily the most recognizable person there. So
yeah, right. And he keeps dropping his ticket. It's amazing.
Dropping my tickets.
Oops, Butterfingers.
Excuse me. I'll pick that up. Don't worry. I got it. All right. My number five. My number five. Now I got two in a row from 1984. My number six was Turn Up the Radio. We're on my number five, right?
I did five. I did my five.
Okay. And Mariah did her five. Okay. Yeah. My number five, and I had to have, speaking of Kiss, we were just talking about them, had to have something from Kiss. And I feel like 80s Kiss is severely underrated in the grand scheme of Kisstory. My number five comes off the Animalize album, and it's Heaven's on Fire. I think from beginning to end, that yell that Paul Stanley does, those simple driving guitar riff, the drum beat to me sounds like just a simple drum beat. And I look at you and my blood boils hot. I feel my temperature rise. It's got those breathy things that he does in it. I think that is one of the greatest songs in Kisstory. And I think it's utterly catchy, and it was a massive hit. And that album went platinum because of that song. So Heaven's on Fire is my five.
I hate that song. I hate that song. For all the reasons what you just said, I hate that song.
I like it. I like it. That one's catchy. And I Was Made for Loving You was on, I don't know if it exactly counted as hair metal.
I hate that song too.
It does.
But I was like, that was pretty high on honorable mentions because Kiss had a lot. Crazy Nights.
Hell yes.
I would say that.
That'll get so stuck in your head, and I hate when that gets stuck in my head.
Yes. And I think both of you in the songs I don't need to hear again. I think did both of you talk about Lick It Up? Somebody talked about Lick It Up.
I talked about Rock and Roll All Night.
I did. I think it was Lick It Up.
Okay. Anyway,
right?
I could have put Lick It Up in there.
I had Lick It Up on songs I couldn't stand, or no, I didn't say it for that one.
Yes,
it was songs I hated by artists I like. Yeah, that song stinks.
Yes. Anyway, I think Lick It Up is also fantastically catchy. but Heaven's on Fire is
I can see that.
Fantastically, I don't know. Catchy, yes.
Yes, it is catchy, but so is, severe diseases. So is Ebola.
You know. All right. Let's move on to our number 4. Brian, what do you got?
My number 4 from a band we've talked to millions of times. A song that should have been huge. Catchy as all hell. True Believer by Lillian X from their Poetic Justice album.
Yep.
So goddamn catchy. It's got that commercial hookiness to it. It was getting some airplay. Never made a video for it. And I think that's what kind of killed the momentum of that album. But it is a great song. And yeah, once it gets in your head, it's there for a while.
Yeah.
That
I
and
think he likes it on top in my honorable mentions. That one
okay.
gets my head a lot.
I have that in my honorable mentions and Show a Little Love.
I had that in my
Unbelievably catchy.
Yeah.
Somehow I made this list and I'm even wearing their shirt without a Lillian Axe song in my top 10. So they are in my honorables anyway.
I thought you guys were both gonna have one. I was expecting
I'm surprised.
from both of you.
Right.
Because I originally had Show a Little Love, and I'm like, nah, True Believer's way more catchier.
Yeah.
That's an
Show a
earworm.
Little Love is pretty catchy.
It is. No, it is. But I think True Believer is more.
Might be.
Okay.
Both should have been big. I mean, both should have been
yes.
owned.
All right, Mariah, what's your number 4?
My number 4, extremely catchy, is Wait by White Lion.
Mm-hmm. I need to say
Could have
that.
also
Figured.
gone with Tell Me or Radar Love. I mean, there are several. Radar Love was stuck in my head last week, but Wait is so catchy. Like if I even it gets to the point where someone says wait in a conversation and I start singing in my head. I'm like, damn it, guys. And then if my brothers are there, I'll sing it out loud and they'll join in. But usually it's among people and I'm like, yeah, and then we get the reference, damn it.
Yeah, because I work in the Bronx, and they have for people that are blind, the thing actually goes wait, and every time I hear, I go, I never had a chance to love you.
That's right. That's right. I was just gonna say that sometimes when people say wait, I'm like, I never had. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Unbelievably
it's
catchy.
catchy. It's a great song.
Oh yeah,
Catchy.
I'll still raise the on it to this day.
And one of the greatest guitar solos, and I'm not a guitar solo guy.
It's phenomenal.
But that guitar solo is fucking amazing.
Nope.
Okay. My number 4, and geez, it was so tempting to. There's so much shit in my honorable mention that I wanted in here, but another one from 1984. 1984 was a good fucking year. It's Scorpions. It's Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Uh-huh.
That song is an earworm through and through. It's still a song that I'll raise the volume on. And I don't feel like I hear it a ton, so I don't really get sick of it. If I listen to it, it's because I want to listen to it. So today I was like flipping through shit, and I'm like, Rock You Like a Hurricane. God, that's a catchy song. I played it, and I'm like, it's in. It has to be in there. Like that song is and came out in 84. That album went triple platinum. I think that's got to be the quintessential Scorpion song. Like that has to be their biggest song, as far as I'm concerned. And they've had a lot of big songs. That album went triple platinum, and I think that is still something that people can't get out of their head.
Yeah, it's a good one. That's a good one.
Yep.
That's an odd one too, because I feel like it's not played all the time relentlessly like others, but it is played enough to where everyone knows that.
Yep.
It's
that
weird thing.
Like, I'm surprised they don't play something like that at like sporting events.
Right?
It's one of those kind of songs.
Rock You Like a Hurricane?
Yeah. Just that guitar riff, just that alone, because usually they don't play full songs when they're introducing the batter or whatever. But they did. I forgot what the name of the album was. It was a live album where they had an orchestra play with them on that, and it's just epic hearing a full orchestra play that riff. Yeah,
That's cool.
I usually like Kiss did that orchestra shit. Metallica did that. And maybe I should listen to it more. But I hear band and an orchestra, I immediately think of like, horns. Well, you know what I think about horns and metal? The two don't fucking mix.
Yeah. Ask Ronnie James Dio that.
Yeah. Yeah.
These horns belong in metal. There you go.
Yep. Those will work. Okay. That was our number 4s. We're moving on to our number 3s, Brian.
My number 3s. I mean, this song was huge. You play it, everyone knows it. You start singing the chorus, everyone starts singing along. Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that goddamn song.
Oh yeah.
There's even a video of a guy singing at a crowded park, and he gets a whole crowd of people singing with him by the end of the chorus because everyone knows it. Once
Yeah,
it gets
he
in your
didn't even
head,
need to sing the whole song. That song is on my honorables. That's ridiculously catchy.
you just sing that chorus, and everyone knows the words. Everybody, it's amazing.
I
One
think
of the biggest songs of all time, probably.
ever.
Yeah, ever. Not even just the 80s, ever.
No.
Yeah.
I think when we were talking about our Bon Jovi top 10, Brian, that was me and you and Jeremy.
Mhm.
And I told the story of like sometimes on the first day of class when I was teaching, just to like break the mood. Kids would come in nervous if they don't know who you are and never met you before. And I just randomly go, "Whoa, we're halfway there." And a bunch of kids, "Whoa, living on a." It was just hilarious. And and everybody knows that song. There's not a person that does not know that fucking song.
Mhm.
No, there's not.
Okay. Mariah, what's your number 3?
My number 3, maybe I knew what my top 3 are going to be because I knew this one was going to be in there. I talked about it earlier. I Want the Guy's Jacket off the cover. Going to 1989, we have Poison by Alice Cooper.
Oh shit.
Mhm.
That song, so catchy. It'll get stuck in my head. It's such a good song. I find myself singing it all the time, even when I haven't heard it in forever. Great song. Could have gone with House of Fire off that album too.
I was gonna say that. That's catchy too. Yep.
Yeah, that's catchy. There's only my heart talking or whatever that one's called on there too. There's a lot of catchy ones.
Shit, Bed of Nails on that album is phenomenal.
Bed of Nails, Only My Heart Talking, This Maniac's in Love with You.
That's a good one. I like that.
Really catchy. Yeah, that song that'll get stuck in my head all the time. I'm not even particularly sure of why that one is so catchy. It just is. The video, all of it.
Tell me if I need to cut this out when I get done telling it. But I coached my son's travel basketball team, and it was at a school that I was teaching at.
Oh, boring. Cut it out.
So I said, "We'll talk to some of your buddies, and we'll make a team." And so we got a bunch of kids that didn't really, but some of these kids were Nigerian, so half the team was black and half the team was white, which was fine. These Nigerian kids had never played basketball, but they were just cool as shit. But we would drive to tournaments, and I'd play 80s rock only, and it was just funny as shit playing Alice Cooper Poison, and I'd always play that song because my son loves the shit out of it. And seeing all these black Nigerian kids singing Poison in the back seat of my vehicle was just hilarious. So anyway.
Welcome to America, guys.
Yeah. They're like, "Play that Poison song." I'm like, "You damn right I'm gonna play that Poison song for you." Hell yeah.
Yeah.
In my honorable
jacket
mention,
off of that cover. Since I was a kid and I saw that because my dad loves that album. He'll play it all the time. He loves those songs. I'm like, oh man, Alice Cooper looks so cool on that cover. I want that jacket.
Yep. Yes. Great album. My number 3, and damn it, I wanted to put in some obscure bands, but I also wanted to be honest about, hey, some of the massive hits were fucking massive because they were so catchy. So, but I tried to find a couple albums or songs that weren't big hits, but I think were so catchy they could have been. This one comes from a band called Electric Angels. They put out their self-titled album in 1990. The song Rattlesnake Kisses got a video. It was the first single. It's so good. It's so catchy. I implore you watching this video, if you have never listened to the Electric Angels album, do it. Start off with Rattlesnake Kisses. There's such a great line in there. He says, "Like a black widow, you mate and kill. While we were making out, you were making out my will." Oh, what a great line. What a great band. Damn it, that thing deserves so much better. And that song will not leave your head. And I could have picked a couple more. The drinking song on that album is unbelievable. And there's Head Above Water is another one. One of my favorite albums in hair metal history, Electric Angels.
It's a great album. What's the one song? I want to say Sweet Homicide?
Home Sweet Homicide.
Home Sweet Homicide. Yeah, that's a catchy
yes.
one too.
And one of the best ballads ever called True Love and Other Fairy Tales. Shit. So, Mariah, if you haven't listened to that album, get on it pronto because I
That's
bet
a
you
good
will love
one.
it.
Yeah, I have heard it. I think somebody recommended. May have been one of you guys. It may have been a video. I don't remember, but it is. It is on my playlist. It is a great album.
Okay. All right. That was my number 3. We are on to the number 2s. Brian, kick us off.
My number 2, it's the song that got me into this band. I think it's probably their catchiest song out of all their albums. It is Burning Like a Flame by Dokken. Another one that starts off with guitars and you got this Don singing, but that again, the chorus is just catchy as all shit. The video is corny as all shit too. And my God. And then what is it? George Lynch's skeleton guitar comes to life, and then Don Dokken's got to breathe fire on it for reasons. This is so convoluted and weird.
That's
but
right.
yeah, it's such a catchy tune, very commercial sounding by them too.
Yeah.
Yep. I love that song. What were you gonna say, Mariah?
The band had several honorable mentions too. They've got several that could fit in that.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great song. That's a good call. Yep. Mariah, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is "Kiss Me Deadly" by Lita Ford.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I would be rich for the amount of times I've woken up and that song is in my head for no reason at all. And then I'll tell someone, yeah, song's stuck in my head. I'm like, again, it's so catchy. It'll just get stuck in your head and you see the title, you want to sing it. Oh man, that song's in my head all the time. It's such a good song. It's so catchy.
You don't have to wait for anything. The opening, I went to a party last Saturday night, right when you hear that just grabs you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think. So
yeah, it ain't no big thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the part about Guru.
Yeah, I said we were making yes, we gotta make it smaller somehow. No, that's in my honorable mentions and shit. Unbelievably
I
catchy.
forgot about that one. Yeah, that one is catchy. I'm gonna say this, go on record. I cannot stand Don't Close Your Eyes with Ozzy. I hate that song.
Close My Eyes Forever?
That's what it is, yeah.
Yep.
That is almost on the same level for me as Love Bites. I mean, maybe not. That's pretty fun.
Really?
Wow.
I don't know. I never liked that song. I thought it was like, and at the end with Ozzy whining out the vocals, I'm like, ugh, this doesn't do it for me.
I like that song.
I love both of them. I love both that and Love Bites, so
Yeah.
I can't.
I
I don't like Love Bites anymore, but I do like Close My Eyes Forever. So
I can't. I could.
okay.
I don't know.
All right, my number 2. Shit, right? We have my
Mhm.
Yeah.
My
number 2. Now we're starting to get into some repetitive territory, and I think Brian fucking knew, but is DAD Sleeping My Day Away? Fuck. Why that should have been one of the biggest songs ever.
I don't get it. Yeah.
It got a video, it got a single. I mean, I feel like there was maybe not a huge push for that album. But that song from the beginning, the beginning is catchy. That chorus is unbelievable. And that whole album is phenomenal. It's all killer, no filler. So shit. However, the album is called No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims in 1989. They did put out a really good album in 1991 called Riskin' It All that had some solid shit. But Sleeping My Day Away, every time we've talked about this album, I've always said if we ever do like the catchiest songs of all time, this song is going to be in there somehow. So there it is. Sleeping My Day Away is my number 2.
They've been putting out good albums ever since.
True.
Just a few years ago, they had was it last year? Just recently, they had an
They
album.
just put out a new
Really
album
good.
like in the last few months. I think it's called Speed of Light or something like that.
Yes, yeah. That's it. It was a few months ago.
And-
Yeah, good album.
Yeah. It's sitting in the CD's sitting in my Amazon cart. I've been listening to it on YouTube. I'm like, fuck, just buy the CD, support the band. Don't be a little bitch. Okay. Get your music for free.
But they're like one of those bands where they got lumped into the hair metal scene, and they're really different and maybe a little ahead of their time kind of sounding.
Didn't really fit in because they weren't putting out big, oh baby, I love you ballads. That first album, there's no ballads. It's just a straight ahead heavy rock album.
Yeah. But like bands like a Bang Tango or Love Hate, they just got thrown in there because there was nowhere else to put them.
Yeah.
All right, we'll throw them here because they kind of look like everyone else. But they really, the music was different than what was going on with a lot of these bands.
Mariah, do you know that song? Sleeping My Day Away by DAD?
Yeah, I do. There's also another one I know by them, so I'm trying to remember what the other song. I can't remember it right now.
Rim of Hell off that album is unbelievable.
That's a good one.
Girl Nation is unbelievable.
That's another
The whole
one.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's my number 2. We are on to our number 1s. Drum roll, please. Bryan, what's your number 1?
Well, not much of a drum roll because you said it already. So that kind of kills that. But this was when you came up with this topic. This was the first song that popped in my head. Catchy as all hell. Bang Bang by Danger Danger.
Oh, okay.
It's got that commercial poppiness to it. I mean, it starts off with the just saying bang bang. What's that? And it just kicks in. And yeah, once that chorus gets in your head, it is not going anywhere. It's that kind of song. How that song wasn't bigger, I'll never know because that had a commercial hit written all over it.
Totally. It's shocking. Just right now, I'm just like in my head, bang, bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unreal. And yeah, that's the definition of what somebody asked, like, well, what does it got to be this? And I'm like, or does it got to be a single? And I said, well, just think about the song Bang Bang. It wasn't a massive hit, but that thing won't leave your head. That's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Mariah, what's your number 1?
That was on my honorables. I listened to it today, actually. But yep, that was on my honorables.
That's the one I had to play in the car ride from work, too. I was like, I got to play this. It was telling me going into that. Like, got it out of my head.
No. So, for my number 1, I asked a couple people, who in my life who like this music, hey, what are contenders? I was curious what they would say. I was curious. And everybody but one person, like the first song they said is my number 1, which is Round and Round by Rat. That song will get stuck in your head. You'll sing it. You always sing along with the chorus, and you just go round and round, and like even my head goes around. It's just the whole thing. That song is ridiculously catchy, and it'll be in my head all the time, and that's I think why that song is so is big is just because it's so catchy.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a good song, but
absolutely,
yeah, that song is too many times I've had that song stuck in my head. Too many.
That was my number 9 until people started talking about Love Bomb Baby, and I was like, fuck, am I really gonna take off Round and Round? And I'm like, yeah. Because I think we kind of talked about that in the songs I never need to hear again. I mean, it's such a good song. It gets played so much that it gets easy to go, okay, fuck, I've had enough of Round and Round. Give me something else. So it's in my honorable mentions. I'm completely, and I think, this might be a fun episode. What are the 10 most iconic hair metal songs? Because these are catchy, but they're not all of them are iconic. Some of them are. Round and Round is iconic. Living on a Prayer is iconic. Bang Bang,
a good time.
Bang Bang is not iconic.
No,
good
it should have been. I think it should have been.
Should have been.
Yeah.
Nothing but a good time is iconic.
If Bon Jovi did that song, it'd be a huge hit.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay. Who just fuck
you?
It's your turn.
You're number 1.
My turn. My number 1 and fucking. Here's where I get to say Bryan already said it, is Cold Blood by Kix. I think that chorus is so damn catchy. The opening guitar riff, oh my gosh, gets me moving right away. And that is one song that I have not gotten tired of.
No.
I don't think, hey, don't play Cold Blood. Fuck, I'm getting tired of that. Fuck, I'm like, play Cold Blood. Go ahead. It's not a problem. That is still one of my favorite songs of all time. I don't know how it wasn't like Poison's Nothing But a Good Time. That should have been Kix's Cold Blood. They should have been the same level. But love that album, Blow My Fuse. And that song is, I think, Kix's best song.
I think that was my number 1 song on the top 10 Kix songs. Such a great tune.
Oh, it was mine. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
such a great band. I mean, they should have been way bigger.
Oh,
Way
the
bigger.
album only went platinum. It had that, Blow My Fuse, Don't Close Your Eyes, Red Light, Green Light, TNT. That should have been a triple platinum album.
Oh, so many good songs on.
Yes. So, should we do some honorables? We might as well. Fuck.
Yeah, I got a whole fuckload of them.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I do too.
Even if we do another video, nobody's gonna think about, oh, you said that in the honorables. Just
I don't give a shit.
Oh.
Yeah, I did. But here it is again.
Yeah, deal with it. And we didn't rank it, so.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Okay, Brian, what do you got for honorables?
all right, I got a bunch. Like I said, Show a Little Love by Lillian Axe. 17 by Winger. I took it off the list because of the content, but everything's just hooky with that song. School is for Fools by Life, Sex, and Death.
Shit.
I'm surprised no one said this. Don't Treat Me Bad by Firehouse.
My dad did. He told me to put it on there.
A lesser known song, In Your Eyes by Icon from their Right Between the Eyes album. That's catchy as all hell. We Set Up All Night. Angel in Black by Bangalore Choir. Yep. That's a super catchy chorus. Another band should have been bigger. Out with the Boys by Lord Tracy.
Oh,
Forget Me Not by Bad English.
Oh,
I had 2 by Babylon AD, Bad Blood, and Bango the Bells. Those are both catchy as all hell. 2 by a German Euro band, Ed Guy. Laboratory Love Machine is all commercial and catchy as hell. So is Superheroes by them. And the last one we've said before, Can't Stand the Heartache by Skid Row.
Okay. Awesome. Mariah, what do you got?
I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss. We talked about that one. Up All Night by Slaughter. Jump by Van Halen, if they count. I don't know. That song probably does.
Yep.
Talk Dirty to Me, Ride the Wind, Fallen Angel by Poison. There's several. Living on a Prayer, Wanted Dead or Alive, Who Says You Can't Go Home by Bon Jovi. Gypsy Road, Nobody's Fool. I know you don't like that one. By Cinderella. In My Dreams by Dawkins. Reach for the Sky and Don't Treat Me Bad by Firehouse are both really catchy. Final Countdown by Europe.
Oh,
On Top by Lillian Axe.
What was that one again? Oh, you selected On Top. Okay.
Yeah. Rock You Like a Hurricane, Scorpions. Love is a Killer by Vixen. Clock Strikes by Wildside.
Ooh.
I'm surprised Miles Away by Winger wasn't mentioned. That song is very catchy to me. And then Rattlesnake Shake by Skid Row. And then the last one was Down Boys by which Quicksand could be on there. I woke up with Bitter Pill stuck in my head this morning, even though that one's not traditionally catchy. Machine Gun's pretty catchy.
Yep.
I got quite a few. So yeah, there's my long list.
Yeah, I would say Edge of a Broken Heart by Vixen's pretty goddamn catchy.
That is too. Love is a Killer. Even more though.
Okay. Lillian Axe, True Believer, Show a Little Love. Alice Cooper, Poison. Cinderella, Shake Me or Gypsy Road. White Lion, Tell Me. Joan Jett, I Hate Myself for Loving You. Holt, She Sells Sanctuary. Slaughter, but check out the song. Desperately. That chorus is that damn near made the list. That's one of my favorite Slaughter songs. Electric Boys, All Lips and Hips.
Yes, nice.
Oh, if you don't know.
Great band. LA
Guns, Never Enough. Vixen, Edge of a Broken Heart. Baton Rouge, Walks Like a Woman or Baby So Cool. Rat Round and Round. Wild Side, Looks Like Love. Guns N' Roses, Paradise City or Sweet Child of Mine. Warrant, Cherry Pie. And that's it. So
that's a lot of good songs.
A lot of shit.
Yeah. Yep. Unbelievable. And I think, just talking about these songs, we say it on here all the time. Hair metal is the greatest generation, the greatest musical genre of all time. And so much stuff that was either huge or should have been huge, earworms, all of these. So if you don't know any of these songs, I highly suggest you go out to your Apple Music, your Spotify, or your YouTube and check out the shit that we were talking about today.
I gotta say, every song all of us mentioned, I had playing in my head as soon as you brought it up.
Oh, totally.
Yep. You either hear the chorus or a guitar riff or whatever. Yeah, they're all just get stuck in your head.
Something immediately comes to mind, and you're like, "Yep."
Yeah.
Hey, if you made it this far, I would love it. Please go down in the comments and tell us what are your catchiest hair metal songs of all time. With that, Bryan from the Hairband Basement, thanks for coming on to talk about this, man.
Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure. You can listen to my show, download the Station Head app every Friday. Catch the, I don't want to say replays, the recorded show anytime. You can listen anytime you want to. And you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at HB Basement. Always talking music there.
Awesome. Appreciate you. And Mariah, thank you for being on again to talk about your catchiest hair metal songs of all time.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. This was really fun. I'm excited to see what song is stuck in my head at the end of this. I heard so many catchy ones. We'll see which one makes it.
Awesome. Hey,
Thanks.
follow her at mtomesian, whatever it is. I'll put your thing up there. Follow me on X at I almost said at HB Basement. What the fuck?
Yeah, go there
about
for
your
him
shit.
too.
At Hair Metal Guru.
I'm catchy, damn it.
That's right. Catchier than a case of New York City crabs. Follow me at Hair Metal Guru and come and join the conversation. And hey, whatever you can do to support the channel, I just appreciate you being here. Until the next video comes out, my name is Anthony. They call me the Guru. Take care.